Hello, welcome to the Citrus Garden. If you're new here, my name is Christina. If you're not new here, hi, welcome back. It's great to see you. This is a reading for the collective. I am doing a collective reading today, just to help get back into the rhythm of things. And what was coming through today was a bit of sort of like a Venus retrograde energy, which we just started yesterday. So I am going to talk a little bit about that, about what's coming through with the Venus retrograde, before I pull any cards. So it's a Venus retrograde in Aries, and we just recently came out of a Mars retrograde in Cancer, which is a really interesting sort of context because Mars and Venus are natural counterparts. They work together on things. And so the fact that Mars has just come out of retrograde in Cancer, which is a water sign, and Venus is in retrograde in Aries, which is a fire sign, there's an interesting balance between water and fire that's coming through. So the Mars retrograde, which happened, like, I feel like it's wanting to refer back to like the last 5 or 6 months, where maybe there's been something about like really focusing on home and protecting one's home and like safeguarding what you consider to be sacred. That's how the Mars energy in Cancer was coming through. And the Venus is now coming through as almost being like a balance to that. Where it's like if there's been something where it's like it's been closed off or shut down or sort of like very highly protective, especially in terms of water or like safety or security or belonging as well, it's almost like this Venus and Aries energy is like opening back up again. It's adding more heat, it's adding more inspiration. It's adding more action and movement and outward focus is kind of how it's coming through to balance or to echo the Mars energy, which was very much sort of like focused inward. That's how it's coming through, which is interesting because I'm getting sort of like, I'm getting a lot of imagery about sort of like the Mars in Cancer almost felt like putting up a wall of ice. That's how it was coming through with the water, like shutting something down, blocking something off, that kind of thing. Like it was feeling kind of like icy or cold, that kind of energy, where this Venus in Aries feels like the ice is melting or that there's more heat being added to a system or something like that. So things are starting to become more fluid or it's moving. There's a lot of action and flow that's coming in with this Venus energy. So just being conscious of, especially something where it's like Venus and Aries. Aries is an energy where it's like, if you're not conscious of it or if you're not aware of sort of like the heat and the action, you can get carried away with it with Aries. So just being conscious of that. There is sort of this balance here of like, if you go too far with something, it might cause pain. So just being aware of pain or doing too much. I feel like there's something here where it's actually trying to, this Venus in retrograde may actually be trying to teach or show or demonstrate the correct use of action. Okay, so that's sort of what's coming through there. I was also seeing this energy of like, I was seeing like a horse, but a unicorn horn being sort of like pushed out of the forehead. That's what I was seeing, which is really interesting because it's almost kind of feeling like there's something of like a divide that's happening or like an opening, right? It's kind of like a splitting apart, But what comes out of that is like some sort of new, like unique, rare something. Like it's like a unicorn is being born. That's how it's coming through, which is really interesting. Okay, that's what I was seeing. So for these collective readings, the intention is that it is going to happen very personal for you, where it's like you'll experience something that's like very personal. It's in like your very like close-knit sort of group or whatever your experience, but you may also see it on a collective, bigger scale. That's the intention of these readings, so just keep that in mind. Some dates for you that may be important. We are also going to have a Mercury retrograde starting March 15th, also in Aries. So I feel like that's also going to be an important influence in the coming weeks. Venus retrograde in Aries will enter Pisces at Thursday, March 27th at the end of the month. And Mars will enter Leo Friday, April 18th. So the energy that I'm receiving for this reading is going to span along that period where you have a Mercury energy coming in, a retrograde energy in Aries. The Venus retrograde in Aries is going to last till the 27th, and it'll still be in retrograde in Pisces. And then we have Mars in Cancer that's going to last until mid-April. So that's how it's coming through. Very interesting. Okay. We're going to pull cards. This is a collective reading for perhaps the next couple of months until mid-April. Okay. Chaos. You have the Chaos card. Very interesting. Sparks of light. Yeah. Oil of vitriol. And then you have Saturn at the bottom of the deck. Okay. That's very interesting. I was not expecting to see the oil of vitriol here. Okay, so how this is coming through is that the Mars in Cancer retrograde may have been illuminating, or still is, because Mars is still in Cancer. So I'm going to say that it still is having this sort of awareness of protecting something that you find sacred, that is sacred to you. It is coming through like that. So there may be something here where it's like you're really, or like what you're working with, or what you're maybe seeing, or what you're experiencing is an energy where you are being asked to focus on and protect and defend something that you find sacred. What is worth protecting? That's how it's coming through for you. And so that energy is sort of like still around. And I feel like this oil of vitriol is coming through as being like, if there is anything that you have invited into your home that is not a reflection of what you find sacred, or if, like, the home is being emphasized here, and like what you have let in or what you are letting in. Because I feel like there may be something here where it's like maybe you have let something into your home, but it's not aligned with your values, or it's not, for whatever reason, it's like maybe you need to create boundaries with that or something like that. The Venus in Aries retrograde is giving you the support that you need in order to correct that energy, because that's how this oil of vitriol energy is coming through. It's like, because this card talks about purification through anger, or through whatever it is. I'll get to that description. But this chaos card is interesting. Just disoriented, spinning, and groundlessness. Something miraculous is bound to occur. That's because this card, this state, is so powerful and all-encompassing that it typically overwhelms the student to the point of despair. Such is the nature of chaos. It is the grand trickster, the topsy-turvy confusion that turns life on its head and spins a web not even the wisest mystic can untangle. Baffling and disorienting, but the seasoned alchemist recognizes it as the most potent point in the alchemical experiment. Wait, observe, and do nothing. It is destiny itself that spins the web. Clarity will emerge, one strand at a time. Your only task is to breathe. Do not struggle. The three fates hold you in their sights as you free fall towards freedom. Okay? Yeah. It does kind of feel like there's a big sort of change happening, because this is how I'm seeing, like, this energy of that, like it's almost coming through as being, like, a split or a separation in whatever way, however this plays out in your life, like it's almost like a canyon that's forming. That's how it's coming through. But what's emerging from that is this sparks of light energy, where it's like a unicorn's horn being birthed amidst the chaos. But first, in order, like, so I don't know if it's, I don't know what the cause and effect here is. If it's like the unicorn's horn is causing this disruption, or if it's, I don't know. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Okay. VII. One sec. Okay. The sparks of light. Hope, sensation, and exhilaration. The sparks of light arrive just in the nick of time, leaving a trail of celestial light to guide the way. Follow these flickers as if they are alchemical clues guiding you to an illuminated state. When this card appears, it's likely there has been a lull or void of direction in the laboratory. Some may even say the lights have been turned off, but deep in the void of darkness, a messenger of hope arrives, flickering and shimmering with enthusiasm. You might feel the sparks of light as a childlike giddiness, the presence of magic, a vision in a dream, or a simple readiness to wake up from a long slumber. Follow the physical body. Follow the tingling sensations of aliveness within, and you will not be led astray. Vitality, clarity, and inspiration are within your reach. You are alive. You are a vital being. Appreciate this moment. One spark leads to the next. Yeah. This is a card about following the magic. It's something that absolutely grabs your eye in a moment of perhaps despair, because that's the word that was coming through with this chaos energy, where it's like maybe there's a situation where, I don't know, there's so much changing perhaps that, or there's so much going on with the chaos that it's kind of like there's so much going on externally that it's like difficult to get a grasp on something. That's how this chaos card is coming through. But that is also very intentional. Like that has a purpose. This is a very potent energy to work with, the chaos. This chaos energy may also be like awakening something. That's how it's coming through. It's because it's kind of coming through as being like there's a card in the fairy deck called Oh That Gnome, which talks about the sort of trickster creative chaos energy, where it's like there's something that's happening that feels chaotic or feels out of control or that kind of thing, but actually awakens a wild gift. That's how it's coming through with this unicorn horn. So it could have something to do with the third eye. It doesn't have to be, though. But pay attention to that, because there may be a situation unfolding where it's like your third eye, your intuition is expanding in a way that was really unexpected, or like you're seeing things that are showing you something that's like this. The sparks of light, like your intuition is showing you something, or that your intuition is being birthed or expanded in a really new and interesting way. Okay, but I'm going to read the oil of vitriol, acidity, resentment, and purification. When the green lion appears, a great alchemical reckoning is afoot. Long-standing frustration and imbalance cause this regal creature to lash out unconsciously, consuming all in its path. Be prepared for emotional turmoil as the lion thrashes about. Don't worry, these changes are necessary for growth, and in the end will be a relief to all. Purification is the lion's aim, and it's determined to get there one way or another. When this card appears, the question must be asked, am I the green lion or the sun? The one consuming or the one being consumed? It is said that finding oneself in the mouth of the lion is a necessary moment on any spiritual path. As the discomfort passes, the sunbeams shine all the brighter. Okay. So, vitriol is an incredible acidic and corrosive substance, and so it comes with a few warnings. Don't overconsume, don't lash out, breathe and wait. No need to add insult to injury. Okay. Yeah, that's a really okay. Sorry, I'm getting so many downloads from like this past week. There was a situation that looks exactly like this. That's how it was coming through. There's something where it's like a purification process is happening. It's feeling kind of like it relates to home and relationships because of the Venus energy, and perhaps also resources as well. A purification process. It could also have to do with like your physical body in whatever way. There may be some sort of, or like, yeah, I'm going to stick with that. Home, physical body, relationships, and resources are going through some sort of purification process. So it's important here with the warnings of like, don't overconsume, don't lash out, be patient, and because I feel like that's another thing with Aries energy, is that you can easily get carried away with something. Especially with fiery energy. So just being conscious of that. Don't get carried away. But there is magic here. It's a very potent time for purification of something. Also being conscious of, because I do feel like relationships are being highlighted here in some way, being conscious of people, relationships, or resources that complement you, right? That like balance you, that add support to you where perhaps you're needing support, or that assist you with things, being conscious of that. Also being conscious of energies that oppose you or balance you. 'Cause oppose is not quite the right word. Balance is what's wanting to come through, versus complement. Like if you're thinking about colors, like complementary colors. Or energies as well, where it's like maybe not that go well together is kind of how it's coming through, but are very different. Anyways, I'm gonna leave that there. So collective, what else wants to come through? Yeah, okay. Gnosis, the underworld, and the dead end. Okay. very interesting, because the Gnosis card is coming out underneath the Chaos. So the Gnosis card to me, it's a card about knowing. Hold on, let me read it. Innermost knowing and mystic truths. Gnosis points to the deep and timeless archetypal wisdom that rises from the felt experience of having touched the unknown with every one of the senses. Those who are drawn to Gnosis find themselves in esoteric studies, likely involving mysticism, alchemy, healing, or perhaps science. Knowing is their calling. Not knowing is their job description. No matter how far the alchemists take their studies, they come to the ultimate conclusion that facts slip towards mystery, and soon the mystery results in facts. This card signifies a knowing that is life-changing. Once you experience it, you are forever changed and become a guardian of Gnosis. The eternal mystery is calling you. Study your passion in the deepest way available to you. Interesting. There's so much there. I feel like there's some, because I feel like the energy that you'll be working with is chaos. Where there is so much that you don't know. That's how it's coming through. But that you will feel and experience this truth on a very deep level. And the underworld is coming through, underneath the sparks of light. Yeah. The darkness. The underworld is fraught with nightmares, suffering, and pain. Traversing it forces us to bow humbly to the greater forces that be, while summoning the inner strength we previously underestimated. Take solace that the underworld subsumes everyone from time to time, making us deeper friends, more intimate partners, soldiers of light amid our shadowy times. Facing darkness and choosing light is the most profound calling of all. Yeah. Facing darkness and choosing the light, right? That's how it's coming through. That I feel like there's going to be a period of time where, well, it kind of feels like we're already in it. We've already been experiencing this with the underworld. That there's some sort of darkness, energy, or fear with the underworld, or shadows, or things that we don't want to look at necessarily. But amidst that, there's magic and hope and sparks of light, because this energy of despair is coming through very strongly. It doesn't have to be your despair necessarily. That could be just a collective energy or an energy outside of you, where there's sort of the environment or the context is coming through with this energy of despair, or the underworld, or darkness, or chaos. But that amidst that, there is hope. That's how it's coming through. Okay. And with the dead end coming out at the end, it says the closed door, the final chapter, and the impasse. And that's coming out underneath the oil of vitriol. And so it's almost like, I feel like with this energy, it's coming through with what I was saying before as being like, there may be certain things that you have invited into your home, metaphorically, that are not welcome there anymore. That's how it's coming through. And so it's kind of like this process of like purifying that space, of like metaphorically putting up a dead end kind of energy to that energy, whatever it is. It can go no further. That's how it's coming through, right? The final chapter on something. It's a force that stops us from moving forward as planned. It's natural to resist, and it's very resistance and struggle even harder to make our way. to prove her point, to hold on to what was. In this way, we fight with life itself. From a mythic perspective, the end you face is very much a beginning. There are doors opening all around you, just not the ones you planned on walking through. If you are honest and courageous enough to accept, adjust, and adapt, the dead end becomes known as life's beginning. Yeah. Acceptance, humility, relief, and reverence for change. Okay. Very interesting. So in this process, you have Apocalypsis at the bottom of the deck. This is not an easy card at all. It talks about removal of the veil. That's with Saturn as well. Saturn is a card about discipline and structure, but that through that discipline and structure, there's growth, right? I feel like that's what's coming through here. That's the theme of this reading, is that you're going to be experiencing things like a deep knowing. It's not something that you can it's something that's going to unfold over time, where maybe you'll be seeing things where it's like things that are no longer working for you, things that need to go through a purification process, or things where it's like it has to be reshaped or reformed or purified in whatever way. Or something is going in a different direction, but it's like you're going in this direction, right? The sparks of light. That's how it's coming through. The butterfly. This has been coming through as an Ace of Swords to me, but it is also like a new chapter, a new beginning. Ooh, okay, yeah. You have the shark, the sea serpent, and the tiger. So this tiger represents to me sacred boundaries. That's how it comes through. Like, it's a divine feminine energy in the darkness, but an energy that's very comfortable in the darkness. So, and it's kind of coming through as being like, yeah, the shark energy also comes through with something of like a subconscious energy, something that is fear-based, something that is scarier than that appears scarier than it actually is. And coming out with the sea serpent, though, it's like healing this. I feel like there's something here where it's like where the Mars and Cancer energy might be bringing up subconscious energies, like patterns and things like that are no longer serving you for whatever reason, like patterns in your subconscious, patterns that are based on fear that are no longer serving you. And there's almost like this energy here that's healing that for you or helping you to heal it. It's supportive with the tiger, but in a way where it might feel kind of harsh at first because it's saying like, this is not serving you. That's how it's coming through. Like there may be an experience here where you're experiencing a dead end somewhere because that path is one that comes from a subconscious fear and not something that is in your highest good with the sparks of light. So just being conscious of that. It is in your best interest. This is not an easy energy. But don't get carried away with that. Like, it's kind of like, I feel like there is something here where it's like, because even this lion is a feminine lion, right? There's a lot of feminine energy that's coming through, but feminine energy that's comfortable in darkness, in the underworld. So just being conscious of that in order to heal something that is not in your highest good. Yeah, the whale at the bottom of the deck. Because it's kind of something here as well, where it's like something coming up from the depths, right? Like this is like the unicorn's horn being born. It talks about deep emotional stability and an emotional beacon and ancient wisdom, this whale. But it's almost like because it's kind of coming through. It's like something is being born. Something is coming up from the surface, but you may actually feel afraid of this. Whatever it is, there may be fear that's associated with this emergence is how it's coming through, because for whatever reason, maybe it's something that's been kept hidden for a while, or maybe it's something where it's, I don't know, for whatever reason, there's fear associated with this emergence. But it is something that is coming through as being hope. It's hopeful. Whatever it is, it represents hope and light. And it is clearing out something that is no longer serving your highest good or your highest path. Okay. I feel like with the Apocalypsis card as well, because that card talks about the removal of a veil, right? Like truth is seen and experienced. That there's something about this truth that feels kind of like maybe it's something where it's like hold on, I'm just gonna read it. Removing the veil of deception. The first is a lifting of the veil. This means truths that have been kept in the dark are revealed, seen, and unearthed. No matter how relieving it is to witness them come into the light, an element of despair and grief follows. That's the third time that word has come through. Despair and grief. The second dynamic is the regeneration that comes from the wreckage of the revealed truth. The old narrative breaks and a new story forms. Apocalypsis energy is similar to a forest fires. Devastation for the sake of regeneration. The veil lifts and we see who and what has been hiding. From the nakedness of the truth, a child is born. Have faith in the process. Hold on to your center, and that is the only way. Okay. The unknown becomes known and guides the way. Okay, this is how it's coming through, especially with, okay, fire ant at the bottom. How it's coming through. There's some period of discomfort or something of imbalance here with the fire ant. A situation, this feels like the context. A situation or the context or the environment is one of the fire ant, where there's discomfort, there's imbalance, there's fear, they're sort of like feeding into unhealthy energies. That's how I see the fire ant. And from that chaos, something is emerging within you. This emotional strength, this whale energy, this like full emotional satisfaction. That's how I see this whale. But at the same time, you may be mistaking this whale as a shark, which is interesting. As something to be feared, as something to be cautious of. And that's what's wanting to be healed, because I feel like there's something here where it is feeling like a call to action for you, where a situation around you that has imbalance associated with it is birthing or getting something within you to come out or come up to the surface in order to help balance something, or it represents hope, or it represents emotional fulfillment and satisfaction. But at the same time, you may be afraid of that part of you. There may be fear that's associated with this aspect of you, and that is what's wanting to be healed. Why are you afraid of this part of you? Why are you afraid of this part of you? That has to be purified, because that's not serving you anymore. You should not be afraid of what's in your subconscious, right? That's like that. It's part of you. Okay. Interesting. Okay. I'm gonna pull one card from the Animal Apothecary deck just to close it out. Breakthrough. And it's like that's the unicorn's horn being born. I feel like your intuition is going to go through like a massive breakthrough. Very interesting. Okay, lizard brain. The medicine of this card comes through when you are about to level up and have an amazing breakthrough, but you must be made aware that your lizard brain may attempt self-sabotage. The eye-opening in this image is likened to a seed ripping open to become self-actualized. The reptile head on the bottom of the card represents our unconscious reptilian brain, the limbic system. This part of our brain represents fear, flight, fight, addictions, and other emotional behaviors. It hates change and thinks it can keep you safe by pulling you back from taking important risks that can lead to great success. The lizard brain will drown you in fear of potential failure and tell you to stay in the job or relationship that makes you miserable because there is a strange safety in the familiarity of what you know. Hey, at least you know it's horrible, so that's safe, right? Wrong. This is just some of the garbage logic of the lizard brain, the master of self-sabotage. This card is about surpassing the prehistoric programming of our beliefs and behaviors to evolve into who we know we can be. The art of your breakthrough is the determined effort to constantly question your perception. Take a moment to analyze a current obstacle or moment of resistance you are dealing with. This obstacle is a golden nugget moment to challenge your perception. Examine the story in your mind's eye. Even being aware that you just got hijacked by lizard brain doesn't necessarily dispel all the worry running through your body. At this moment, you may have to just move forward while still feeling fear and not fully believing in yourself, but the action of going forward is what will lead you to the critical breakthrough. Yeah. I do feel like there's something here of like moving forward despite your fear of something. It's a necessary process, and remember to follow the light. Follow the sparks of light, because this is what's going to guide you towards what it is that you are moving towards. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. If this reading resonated with you, please like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much for sharing your energy with me, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.